Hello everyone. So in the previous session we have discussed about one of the application of the operational amplifier, and that is the inverting amplifier. So if you look at the circuit diagram, then here whatever the signal you want to amplify, it is given to the inverting terminal of the operational amplifier, and the non-inverting terminal is connected to the ground. Then in a operational amplifier, the open loop gain is very high. So here if you want to control the gain, then we provide a kind of a negative feedback. So this resistance RF is connected between the output terminal to the inverting terminal, and that is providing a negative feedback. Here negative feedback is a kind of a voltage shunt feedback, remember. And we have derived the expression for the voltage gain of this amplifier, that is a closed loop gain. So for a inverting amplifier, the closed loop gain is given as ACL is equal to minus RF by R1. Minus RF by R1. So by either changing the value of resistance RF and R1, you can change the gain of the amplifier. The input resistance of this amplifier is going to be a R1. Now here, in this case, if we take a RF is equal to a R1, if the resistance, feedback resistance and the R1 is same, then in that case, the closed loop gain will be equal to a minus 1. So here in this case you can see there is no amplification, but due to this negative sign, it indicates the signal is going to be a inverting. So you are getting a 180 degree of a phase shift between the input and the output terminal. That's why this circuit is known as a phase inverter circuit. So whenever you want only a phase change of the signal, then you can keep this RF and R1 identical, or you will get a phase inversion of a 180 degree. Correct? Now second thing, that if we keep a RF by R1, let us say it is equal to a K, that is a scale, then the ACL is given as a minus K, means you are increasing the signal by K times. So then this circuit is known as a scale changer. It is known as a scale changer. You are increasing the signal 2 times, 3 times, 5 times. Accordingly, you can select the value of the K. Now, let us say here if we apply a signal at the input signal is, let us say, a 0.5 into a sine omega t. My VI is 0.5 into sine omega t. Then what will be the output voltage? So you know that from this formula that output voltage of the amplifier we can write as, if my input voltage is, let us say, a 0.5 into a sine omega t, and here if I am taking a RF is equal to a 10 kilo ohm and R1 is equal to a 1 kilo ohm. So the gain of the amplifier will be a 10. Now here if I want to calculate what is the output voltage, then the output voltage is given as a ACL into my input voltage VI. Now ACL is minus RF by R1, and the input voltage is 0.5 into a sine omega t. So here we have minus 10k by 1k into a 0.5 sine omega t, and if we calculate, so the signal is increasing by 10 times, so you will get a 5 sine omega t. So if we see yes, so if we see the waveform for the input and the output, then it will be like this. Correct? So my input signal is this, and the amplitude of this input signal is 0.5. This is 0, and Vi is there. If we see the output signal, then your output signal will be like this. If that is a phase inversion, so here first of all, when the positive cycle is at the input, you will get a negative cycle, and then we have a positive cycle. Correct? Now, what is the amplitude? Amplitude is -5. So here the amplitude, this is a -5 volt, 0, or in this you can say it is a +5 volt. So this is a waveform for a input and the output signal. But now remember, here if my input signal is instead of a 0.5, here let us say my input voltage is a 2 sine omega t. Remember, 2 sine omega t. So when we have the input signal of a 2 sine omega t, then what will be my output voltage? Here the gain of the amplifier is 10. So the output voltage, expression for the output voltage will be a -20 sine omega t. Correct? It means that whatever the output signal is there, this output signal will be here. It should be like this, -20, and here we have a +20. But remember that amplitude of the output signal, that again depends on what is your supply voltage. Suppose my supply voltage is of a 12 volt, +12 volt and -12 volt. Then in that case, you will not get the amplitude of 20 volt. Here, the operational amplifier will go into the saturation. So if the supply voltage is 12 volt, then the maximum output voltage of the amplifier will be a 12. It will not be a greater than 12. That is known as the saturation voltage. So here if you see this waveform, then what will happen? That it will be a saturated here. At 12 volt, it is going to be saturated. So this level is of a 12 volt. Same way, here if you see it in the negative cycle, then there will be a kind of a saturation, and it is a -12 volt. So you will not get a sine wave. So this indicates that if you apply the input voltage very large, and if the gain of the amplifier is very large, then in some of the case, here you will get the saturation of the output signal. So in short, you should remember that whenever we are solving any kind of a problem or any kind of the objective, then in that case your output voltage should not be greater than your supply voltage plus VCC and minus VEE. Suppose your output voltage is greater than this, then you have to choose the option of a saturation voltage, and that is equal to a VCC. Remember, so -12 volt is known as a V saturation, minus V saturation, and this +12 volt is known as a plus V saturation. So in that case, your output voltage will be a plus saturation to a minus saturation. Okay? So this thing should be clear to you, output voltage of the operational amplifier, not only operational amplifier, in any kind of the amplifier, it will not be greater than your supply voltage. Otherwise, there will be a kind of a clipping in a positive cycle as well as the clipping in the negative cycle. This is known as the clipping of the signal. Remember, here this part of the signal is not going to amplify by the amplifier circuit. Okay. Now we will look at the another application of a operational amplifier, and that is the non-inverting amplifier. So here we have a circuit diagram for a non-inverting amplifier. Already you know non-inverting means your input signal is not going to be a inverted. The phase difference between the input and the output will be a 0 degree. In a non-inverting amplifier, we apply the input signal to the non-inverting terminal, to this non-inverting terminal of the operational amplifier, correct? And on a inverting terminal, we provide a kind of a feedback. So output voltage is this. Between the output voltage and the inverting terminal, the feedback resistance RF is connected, and here we have a resistance R1. So this is providing a kind of a feedback network. And what kind of a feedback is there? It is a negative feedback. And negative feedback, in negative feedback also, it is a voltage series feedback. Because we are taking the fraction of the output voltage to the input. Now whatever the voltage will be here, that voltage is in series with your input voltage. So non-inverting amplifier is an example of a voltage series feedback. Series feedback. Remember. Correct? So here whatever the voltage will be there, it will be in series with your input voltage. Okay, now we want to find out what is the gain of this amplifier. Here you can see that output voltage. Here my input voltage is there. Suppose my input voltage is positive, then the output voltage will be also a positive, and it will be higher than this VI. Correct? So here in a feedback path, the current is going to be flow in this direction. The current will flow like this. Let us say this current is I. Now you know that operational amplifier has a very high input resistance. So the current in the non-inverting terminal is 0, as well as the current in the inverting terminal is also a 0. So current in both the terminal is 0 because the input resistance is very high. Then second thing, that the gain of this amplifier here, this is the ideal amplifier. So open loop gain of this amplifier is infinite, and in that case already in the previous session we have discussed that whatever the potential is on a non-inverting terminal, the same potential will be on a inverting terminal. So here VI potential is there. So if we are talking about this point A, then the potential at point A will be equal to VI, because there is no flow of current between the two terminals. So whatever the potential is here, the same potential will be at point A. Second thing, the current is also not flowing in the operational amplifier. So whatever the current is in the feedback path, the same current will flow in the resistance R1. So here the flow of the current will be in this way. Flow of the current will be like this. So if this point is clear, now it is very easy to derive the expression for a voltage gain. If we calculate the current in the output terminal, current at output terminal can write the current I is equal to Ohm's law. I is equal to V by R. V means the potential difference. And what is the potential difference? So here one of the potential is VO, another potential is VA. The current is flowing like this. So this is the positive and this one is negative. So here we can write it is VO minus VA divided by resistance RF. But what is VA? VA is equal to VI. But the potential VA is equal to VI. Therefore, we can write the current I is equal to VO minus VI by RF. You can say expression number 1. Now, we write the current at the input terminal. Current at input terminal. Correct? So at the input terminal we have resistance R1 and the current is flowing in this direction. So this is a positive and this one is negative. Same current is flowing. So here the I will be equal to, we can write the VA, potential across this R1 is VA minus 0 divided by resistance R1. Because this point is connected to ground, so it is 0. And what is VA? VA is nothing but VI by R1. Equation number 2. And now if we compare both the expression, you will get the expression for the K. Correct? So, from the equation 1 and 2, we can write the VO minus VI by RF, and that is equal to VI by R1. So here we can write, okay, so from this expression we can write as a VO by RF minus VI by RF is equal to VI by R1, or a VO by RF is equal to a VI by R1 plus VI by RF, and that is equal to VI into 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon RF. Correct? So, what is the gain now? Here, the closed loop gain is VO by VI, VO by VI, and that is equal to, now it is RF into 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon RF, and therefore here we can write that the ACL for the non-inverting amplifier is given as 1 plus RF by R1. This is the expression for a closed loop gain of a non-inverting amplifier. So again, the gain of the amplifier depends on what is your feedback resistance and R1. Here, there will not be any change in the phase. Means if my input signal is a kind of a sine wave like this, then the output will be also in the same phase. The phase difference between the input and the output, here we can say the phase difference between input and output is a 0 degree. Correct? Okay. Now, here slightly, if you see this circuit in a different way, then you will find some other application also that is known as a voltage follower circuit. Now let us see another application of a non-inverting amplifier. Remember, so in a non-inverting amplifier, the circuit diagram is this. Here we have connected resistance, then in the feedback part another resistance is there, and we applied a input voltage to this non-inverting terminal. This one is R1, this is RF, and this is connected to ground. Correct? Now we know that the closed loop gain is given by 1 plus Rf by R1. Correct? Now if I want to make a circuit which have a gain of unity, means if I want a unity gain, then in that case what should happen? That Rf by R1 must be equal to 0. Correct? So this is possible. This is possible if Rf is equal to 0, or you can say that R1 is equal to infinite. Then my closed loop gain ACL is equal to a 1. Now already you know the amplifier which has a unity gain, then it is known as a follower circuit. So here this circuit is known as a voltage follower circuit. So here if I want to convert into a voltage follower circuit, then what should be the RF? RF has to be 0. RF has to be 0. It means here I have to remove this RF and short this terminal. So this indicates that RF is 0 and R1 is infinite. Infinite means no resistance. You don't have to connect anything. So here if you are not connecting this resistance R1, now whatever the circuit we have, this circuit is a voltage follower circuit. Remember, this is known as voltage follower. Correct? So here for this voltage follower, ACL is equal to a 1. And why it is 1? Here if you apply the concept of a virtual ground, then here if you have the potential Vi, then at this point my potential Va will be also equal to a Vi, and this Va point is connected to a output, means the output is what? Potential at A. The potential of the output means our voltage at the output terminal will be equal to a voltage at the terminal A, and this Va is nothing but it is my input voltage. So here you can say that whatever the voltage we applied on a non-inverting terminal, the same voltage will be at the output. In other words, you can say output is following the input voltage, and that's why this is known as a voltage follower circuit. The voltage follower circuit has a important property. That one of the important property is that input resistance is infinite. Means because we are considering a ideal op-amp, or you can say input resistance is very large, and the output resistance here RO is equal to a very low. If it is ideal op-amp, then it will be a 0. So basically this circuit is used for impedance matching. So suppose your signal is transferring from a higher impedance to the lower impedance, then without impedance matching, if you transfer, then there will be a loss of the signal as well as the signal is going to be a distorted. So without distortion, without any loss, if you want to transfer the signal, then between the high impedance circuit and the low impedance circuit, if we connect the voltage follower, so without any amplification, your signal will be transferred to a lower impedance. So here suppose we have a high impedance circuit and my load is suppose of a low impedance, correct? Then you cannot connect a low impedance to a high impedance. Then the signal will be distorted, loss of the signal will be there, as well as there will mismatch between this impedance. So without direct connecting this, you can have a voltage follower circuit So output of the high impedance is given to the voltage follower and the output of the follower circuit is given to the low impedance circuit. And we know that the gain of this amplifier is 1. So without any amplification, your signal is going to be transferred from high impedance to the low impedance. That is the application of a voltage follower circuit.